Group 1 racing now with us and beyond us. Jack Dickens, good day overall. Taraf drifted, didn't matter. Still extra wins on the board for the punting overall. Stats for yourself this spring, yourself and Jacko flying to start off September. How'd you see the day overall?
It was a really, really frustrating day for us betting wise. What happened to us at Echuca will haunt us for at least until Sunday, which it did. But then we found a few winners on Sunday. But then I did back one of Lockie Nindorse there on Sunday, which I will never be doing again in the foreseeable future. Young Lockie is 4 from his last 100, 1 from his last 50. That last winner was on Wednesday at Sandown on a good horse, Twisted Fury, for David Brightoak. So I thought maybe a bit of momentum is back. We'll trust him here at at Donald, and that was a mistake. If I was his brother or his manager, I'd be looking after him. I think he needs to go back to Adelaide, get some confidence, because he could get destroyed mentally if he keeps riding here.
Okay, so a nice positive start there to start the show.
Yeah.
That was Donald and Echuca, but Flemington also happened. Flemington, Dicko, Flemington. Group 1 racing. Let's start off with the Maccabi Diva, because I think that was obviously the most interesting race on the card. Incentivise was well supported as favourite. The data is fascinating in that it was a very slow tempo for the class. They haven't broken the class benchmark either. And the Spruik Cup favourite has managed to dictate the entire event.
Well, it was the second biggest go all day, $7.50 into $4. Wait, like the structure of our pricing found it, I just couldn't trust it. It didn't help when we opened the previous show with it losing an 800-metre maiden at Toowoomba. And when I think about that, there's losing maidens, and there's you can run into a 1,200-metre, 1,000-metre, 400-metre maiden that are reasonably deep. 800-metre maidens, not so much. I think maybe Shane should open here. Or what do we do here? How good is this horse? It's just won a Group 1.
Look, the Victorian bias in you is the reason why you didn't back this horse, right?
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. We went through the preview. It was on speed. It was the only horse ready. There was knocks on everything at either the trip or where they're at in their prep, and there was no other horse to back in the race.
Yeah. I thought Agon was a hope.
It bled. I think it bled, didn't it?
Well, I backed it in the end, small bet, and top of the straight, I thought we were winning. So yeah,
something went wrong with it. Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it bled. Horses ran really well, as you know, like Sir Dragonet, good return. Tefane was a query at the trip, sat outside the leader, had every possible to be strong late. It was probably strong enough late for it at the mile, but it's just not good enough. And I think on reflection, the best horse won that was ready right there and then on the day. But some good performances around it.
What do we make of some of these others though? Like Moanga was in striking distance, as you said. Tefane or just clearly doesn't get the distance because it had absolutely every possible. Anything that was really on speed and failed can't be trusted.
I think Sir Dragonet goes better Victorian way and with give. Flemington would have been firmish, but it had some sort of give. But I reckon more the biggest thing for me here is Jesus, there's not many good horses at the moment.
Look, the leaders ran home in 33.9. Leader winner, 33.9.
What does that mean to the punter at home or me who doesn't understand what 33.9 would mean?
Well, 10 lengths quicker than average last 600, isn't it?
So it's a good, strong bit of work.
Yeah. They're very hard to run past a leader that's getting home that quick over a mile.
Because they've gone ridiculously slow.
Oh, ridiculously slow.
I think you look at this race last year's like Russian Camelot and Fierce Impact. They're both gone to stud. I think this is dull and boring, and I'm certainly not going to be able to trust a horse going to the next sort of like a Caulfield Cup and Melbourne Cup, but I might be wrong again. But Mo'unga was disappointing, but it has improved. So Dragonet, you cannot trust. You just go open up its punting form. It's like a fucking roller coaster of benchmarks. Tefane will never get 600 metres, completely blessed in run. He's riding so well, Craig Williams. The rest of them are just like sort of decent horses. Like 50 Stars have been beaten by Johnny Get Angry.
What a regressed for the new stable, has it?
Right, Johnny Get Angry was 6 lengths off the Caulfield Cup favourite. You know, like
it's very difficult to very difficult to take too much out of a race that is running at such a dawdling tempo for a Group 1 standard race.
Yeah. Bit of pressure on Tom Davinick. That's about all I'd sort of note here.
Maybe Colette's probably the one to follow because she can.
Yeah,
jump back
but
into her
you
own
won't get
sex.
but you won't get the price.
Well,
You're saying maybe. I agree with you exactly. Maybe, but it'll be like maybe $4, and then it's like,
she'll be better than whatever she faces in her own sex over a trip anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Incentivise. Splintex was the biggest figure on the card on Punting Form's all-adjusted benchmark with a minus 14.3. Sydney Form, end of story.
Improved 13 lengths off its previous performance. Findable, probably a mistake by me. Away game's going good. Zutori was good. Express Pass is flying. Riddle me that. It's only 4.9 lengths off, and it had Lockie Nindorf, so call that 3 to 2.5. I thought Front Page was flat. That's 2 poor runs from it now. It was a sort of awkward preparation. I heard the trainer speak about he sort of suffered from COVID with preparing his horse. So he's been in like different levels of lockdown near the border. So maybe you give it one more chance there, Front Page. But I just want to see it to Caulfield and on pace.
Is Front Page the one going to the Kosciuszko or one of them, is it?
I don't know.
That could be the stable.
That could be this horse, actually. I don't know. What even is the Kosciuszko? So much talk about this thing. What is it? A race?
Leave it for the Sydney show. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up.
I don't understand it. It's like people are
paid.
buying tickets or something. It's a race, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a race. Yeah.
So what? You can buy shares in all the horses?
No.
We'll move on.
Let's stay on track. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. It's really not worth talking about.
Anyway, sorry, I digressed.
Bobby Lewis, big figures. Anything that really took you, though, as a horse that you go, I would like to be on that next start?
No, nothing.
Okay.
What do you make of Jonker Curls? I thought I backed it in the end. Just trusted the prices, which is probably why then I didn't trust the price in the next race. But I don't think it was D-Lane's best ride.
Oh, what did he go out 9.2 quick?
There's a lot of wind there on Saturday.
He's returned to 11.1 on Punting Form, which is a PB. So clearly the horse will be better suited around a bend, where he might be able to kick off the bend and hold them off the last furlong, more so than be brutally exposed up the straight, which is something that we spoke about in the previous show as well.
I think he wanted to go at that tempo, and then it's just like a big, quick decision on do you go slower than is ideal to try and get some cover, which you might not even get, or just try and run your own race. And yeah, he's run a strong figure, so maybe I was a bit harsher on Damien, who is riding very well.
It's the quickest he's gone out in a long time.
So maybe I'm not being harsh. Who knows?
And we thought sort of D-Lane was a bloke that wouldn't go too quick on it.
He's gone even.
Yeah, but quick for it, though.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of a messy day, and you could probably pick up on the. It's a bit of a hard meeting to review with real clarity and confidence, and that's because of this big wind that we had all day there. So, like, it's a big factor in the tempo, the pattern of this meeting.
Sure.
Okay. We'll skip ahead just to Ayrton because it obviously failed, but, well, I wouldn't say failed. It was nailed on the line by a couple of horses that had a better run in transit, I think it's fair to say. But Harbour Views had the good jump out. It's probably a bit too soon to say the horse is back, though, isn't it?
Who would know? The market didn't.
No.
This horse is a yo-yo, a frustrating one. Pete's of a ride D Lane. Cherry Tony's a beast, isn't it? Like, that's a big, consistent horse, you know. Here we go, I'm back, bang, another big run. Loves Flemington. I reckon, like, if you watched in run, which I'm sure anyone watching sick enough to watch this did, Jesus, Regards Marie was travelling. Like, Ollie just had the pythons in the perfect, like, python position when he thinks he's got a lot of pony. And it had great protection from the wind, and it's matched like its sort of recent PB, that horse. That's about its level, I reckon. Reasonably bunched finish, sort of the first 5 horses here. I reckon this race is half sus. I think you can forgive and trust Ayrton's SP. It was the biggest move on the day, $1.80 into $1.45. Like, that's a big go. It wasn't suited, probably wasn't John's best work, but, you know, tricky spot. He wanted to keep it out of trouble. More often than not, that's going to work for John. I reckon he loves that sort of wide and working setup. He was dominant there on Sunday at Donald, but I don't know. What do you guys make of Ayrton? Curls, you got a fairly strong read on this horse. You've seen it just as many times as I have.
Well, I'm just trying to find the race that I want to compare it to, and it's a horse that we're going to discuss a little bit later. But they've had very similar runs in transit to Raff and Ayrton, haven't they?
I was just going to bring up to Raff, yeah.
I thought that John. Now, it's a game of inches, right? So he's on the favourite and he was travelling, but rather than travel up to them and be outside the 2 leaders and travelling, he elected to sit off the first pair and then was pushed 4 deep on straightening, where Tarath was travelling so that I can't call the race number exactly. I'm trying to find it while I'm talking. Where whoever rode Tarath, D-Lane got it like it was travelling, so he got it up with the leaders.
Race 6.
I'm not saying that could have been the difference. I'm saying that they've both had the same runs in transit, obviously different classes. But, you know, that 300 to 400 metres part of the race where D-Lane said, I'm on a horse that's travelling here, I'm putting it into the race, and Johnny was a little bit cooler, I suppose, or just a little bit more placid. And I suppose they've come from behind to beat him too, and that's, you know.
Yeah, but also John's on $1.45 shot, so I'd prefer that he was cool. You know, like he rode this thing very confidently.
For sure.
But like D-Lane's ride on Tarath was just a thing of fucking beauty. Like, he also went early enough so that everything coming after him was copping the wind full ball.
For sure.
Wasn't giving him the toe that John gave with the Ayrton ride to the second and first horse. I thought Mystic Journey was very, very good. And you can't say he's not back now, probably. Like, this horse just keeps sort of showing up. Is very, very hard to catch, but did carry Luke Nolan to do that. So I'm adding a length and a half. And then Still a Star carried Luke Curry, so I'm adding 2.5. But I'm taking off that 2.5 because it was a really good drive by Luke. He's completely blessed this horse in run. We backed it. I thought surely we'll win to the top of straight. Long way to go, but I really like the horse. And what I didn't like about the setup was the rider, and he gave it an absolute peach, Luke Curry.
What do you make of the market in this race? Obviously, Tarath was unwanted, basically, since we did the previous show. There was money for Zoo Dancer that halved in price. Bonvicini at odds. Still a Star was firm.
But Bonvicini was like one of the bigger goes in the races. Zoo Dancer was the biggest, and Still a Star was real firm. Um, I think there's a lot of faith being put in D. Oliver at the moment, and rightly so. And Lee and Troy Corsons are going really well. But at Echuca, their horse that we backed at $5 at start 2 missed the start, and they're Ruffy 1. Fuckers. But they're flying, Lee and Troy Corsons. I think that's probably got a bit to do with it. I think Turreth, like, if you think, it's hard. It's easy to sort of start to pick this horse apart a little bit. It's been up for a very long time. She's a very young trainer. It was drawn to be facing what was a predicted wind, and then eventually was a strong wind. It had no favours in run. So there's someone who laid the horse or was against the horse. I fully understand the thinking. I think the biggest thing to take out of the race is she is an incredibly good trainer. I think she has shown that she's capable of managing and maintaining a very good horse's preparation. This was racing at Sandown, and this opened at Geelong.
Yeah.
It's gone to I think there was a report this morning to say that's enough for the prep. Put it away.
Well, and I think that too, Curls, is like sort of what everyone would be thinking, and that doesn't make you want to like horned up to get set this horse, you know? How many more runs are going to have? It's probably last run of prep. I think it'll be a decent form race, this. He's gapped him. Interesting horse too is Instant Celebrity.
I don't know what interests me more, the trainer or the horse.
Well,
serious. Like, someone get a handle on that camp, can they? I thought that Tarath was probably as good as Ayrton, to be honest. Ayrton's going to have to find a bit to go to be as genuine top liner.
Yeah, and I think also Ayrton's almost suited to Moonee Valley and Caulfield a little bit more because he can accelerate around a bend and he rolls in a bit, and it's a bit of a shorter sprint. But he's like that dynamic, powerful sprinter or big turn of foot horse. You know, like even when we backed it with Jamie and she sat sort of wide on it, it's rolled right in when gapping them. So I anticipated, though, and I think the market did, that John Allen would really suit the horse. I'm really surprised he didn't put anything in about the racing awards on the rundown, Kels, but anyway.
Yeah, well, the fancy having the racing awards in the middle of the spring carnival when we're talking about what's going on the track. Who gives a fuck about racing? It's like the Mailbag might as well have an awards night for us. Who gives a shit?
That is fair.
Now, Pistol, I haven't put this on the run sheet because I did have an award to give this weekend, and it was the performance of the weekend. Now, it's not on the run sheet for a reason because you probably wouldn't let me talk about it. So here it is.
Max Gore.
This is the performance of the weekend. Can you see that tweet from my man 50 Cent, friend of the show? He's doing his obligatory memorial tweet for September 11 and how it'll be etched in our memories forever. What a great, touching thing from 50 Cent. Only to have two hashtags, Branson Cognac and Le Chemi Enduri, which is his champagne label and his cognac label.
Wow.
So he's inserted himself in a story, the best I've ever seen. So here's a tweet with, never forget the people that lost their lives in September 11. By the way, here's my 2 brands of alcohol. Hashtag.
Oh, my God.
Amazing performance of inserting yourself from.
And he'd have more money than God, too.
Staggering. That's tweet
real,
is almost...
That's real bubble bath racing Twitter sort of areas,
Well, I was going to say, that's almost as bad as Matt Stewart trying to get engagement by saying that Anna Moe was just a run. Oh, my God.
At the same time, Matt Stewart's not advertising a cologne or something, but maybe he should. Because next time he does that, he might get a little bit more traction.
Hashtag Brute 33.
Oh, Lord.
That was my performance of the week.
Dutch rudder.
That is outstanding. Speaking of a failed steam.
Oh, race 4.
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't it scary? Jackson thought this was a setup, and so when the money came, he chopped it. This is number 11, Pretty Woman. It was a 9% steamer, the biggest steamer in the race. Glistening was also back. Glistening, if you dig back through your punting form, which I did on Thursday night with a bunch of guys who were getting around it, you could find this horse through the form out of the previous race. So it made sense. Pretty Woman was just a big sneaky setup job for Matty Dale and D Lane, and it hemorrhaged and it punctured up bad, didn't it? It stopped like shot, and Crystal Bound just got through its gears and got the job done for us. Thank God. Good on you, Jai. Great ride, Jai McNeil, that.
Well, unfortunately for me, I backed Flying Evelyn, but that's all right.
Why is that?
Had some real good last start splits, like the map with Preble, who I think the market's still missing to a certain extent. He's come back real well.
Interesting.
Anyway, overall figures, given it was a very fast race, not actually that good. Nothing's broken the class benchmark. Very interesting race from a data point of view.
It looked like they were going real quick too.
Yeah.
So I think when the money horse stopped like shot and it looked like our thing was really underwriting to get going and catch them. It looked like they were going really fast. Those things combined, but it turns out they weren't.
I think the key measure will be the key measure to the meeting on review will be the Kestrel wind meter reading for each race.
Yeah.
If you can't afford to pay someone to stand on track with a Kestrel wind meter, you're not serious.
They're amazing, eh? They just hang off the hip. They put them up every now and again. Get a freshie.
Yeah.
All right, quick word on both Turidan and also Ranch Hand.
Well, Curly's can talk about Ranch Hand. I still don't even know what happened there. But Turidan's a beast, isn't it? That was a big performance, I thought. Into that wind. The wind was strong then. Gapped him. Old Lunar Flare almost up the guts. But Lunar Flare was like protected from the wind almost the whole way. And it looked like I was going to go past it. Then I remembered, hey, I'm Lunar Flare. And last night I was on a Pakenham Synthetic. I better slow down.
Full stop. And Ranch Hand.
Ranch Hand. I was trying to find a steward's report. Steward's report this morning. And I don't often go looking for Victorian stewards reports, but I clicked on it and I can't find a stewards report from Saturday.
Yeah, it's not up yet, but it looks.
Fucking be serious. How does it do that? It was held up a couple of times in the straight, held up at when the favourite Taurus.
Ingratiating.
Sorry. When Ingratiating moved up and kicked clear, this fucking Ranch Hand was still getting held up. Now, I know the stable liked it because it was $19 into 13, right? So the stable likes it because there's money for it, right? So obviously been going good. Now it's improved its PB by 10 and was getting held up. Possibly fucking just wins the Coolmore off that.
No, he was blessed in run with the wind though.
I was fucking held up twice when everything was full board.
Yeah, but it's like
doing this.
Wind
what are
protection.
You talking about?
I think Ingratiating's got all the ticks versus it for next start.
I can't possibly see that. And the other thing that I took out of the race was the replay. Go back and listen to it very intently. You can hear Ollie going, yeah, yeah. And then after the line, when he realises he's got beat, he yells, get fucked.
You could hear it. It was loud and clear.
I reckon that's what the owners of Finance Tycoon would have been saying about the 300. Oh, 5.9% steamer, the old Tycoon, stable change. It has absolutely stopped. What is going on at the Danny O'Brien stable?
Something completely different to what was happening fucking 12 months ago. That's for sure. I can't cop. I just can't. I'm completely against you there when you said this Ranch Hand was blessed. That was fucking unbelievable effort, considering how it was held up and then chopped out and squeezed through a gap. The wind surely couldn't have had that much fucking assistance, could it?
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I do like
I don't know.
Colours. Just need Glenn to start riding it and Shane to start roaring it.
It was unbelievable win. I was staggered. Considering this horse made a complete dickhead of me, which is quite easy to do. But remember, I labelled this horse in the winter. I said, this is like a Group 1 winner. This is going to win the fucking Sires and the JJ Atkins, and it got beat 5 lengths and 10 lengths. Completely non-competitive.
The only thing that I could find in its favour, Curls, as to why it performed so well on the weekend, was the fast race tempo. It seems like all of its best figures have been in fast races, but still, it's obviously improved. All right, 20 seconds on Artorias.
I think it's going really good. It'll probably win whatever it wants to win.
On track. That's what you're saying? It's on track.
It's like, fuck it. It goes around at very, very scary prices. And like I had a guy working here on Saturday. Just want to clarify something. If you think a horse is too short to back straight out, doesn't become a good value proposition if you put it in an all up. It's still a shit price, or it's still a price you're not comfortable with.
I agree with that.
Okay. It seems like a lot of these. I don't know.
We'll leave it till next time. Flemington overall, you guys in September, the 2 jacks, 73.45 out, 115.51 back. You're going for what, 9 months in a row winning?
Maybe 8 or maybe 9. Yeah,
8 or 9.
A lot. Lifetime winning though, more importantly. But we're on a streak.
Not sure a year's a streak, but I think it's a bit more than a streak.
Yeah,
I think you've bet in enough races.
Momentum.
You've bet in enough races this year for it to be not just like variance.
What about yesterday? Wasn't it just a fucking roller coaster of emotions? And you just thought, surely the cherry's going to come on top. It was a complete fill up yesterday. Last bet was this Lockie Nondorf thing that I've opened the batting with today, and Lockie rode that like it was Ayrton, and it's a maiden at Donald Lockie. It's very unlikely to be sitting on an Ayrton.
But you never know. All right, your week ahead.
I wrote it somewhere.
Moe, Wang,
Bendigo Wednesday, midweek at Bendigo.
Ciurleo.
Sale, Peter, the electricity capital of Victoria. Geelong on Friday, and then Caulfield on Saturday for the Rupert Clark Stakes, which is a Group 1, and the Naturalism Stakes, which is a nice form reference for the longer races. Peter.
Okay, now the bad beat hotline. Do you have anything for me?
Not one call this week.
Oh, what does that mean? Everyone won?
I don't know, but I'm not happy about it. Disappointed. I'm pretty sure I have it on and it's working. I will test it after this show. I haven't done that, but I checked it before and there was not one. So thanks, guys, for getting around it. Appreciate it.